The storm raged. Waves crashed against the tugboat like angry fists. Wind howled like a hungry beast. The small boat, tossed around like a toy, fought to stay afloat. Suddenly, a giant wave slammed into the vessel. It was too much. The tugboat capsized, swallowed by the churning sea. On board, chaos reigned. Harrison Okene, the ship's cook, struggled to hold on. Water flooded in, engulfing everything. Darkness closed in, the terrifying roar of the ocean the only sound. Okene, caught in the maelstrom, was swept away. Disoriented and battered, Okene found himself trapped. The ship had capsized so suddenly, leaving him with no time to react. One moment he was working, the next he was fighting for his life. He was in a small, air-filled compartment, the last vestige of the wrecked vessel. The air pocket was his only source of life, a fragile bubble in the vast, unforgiving ocean. The water was freezing, chilling him to the bone. Every breath he took was a struggle, the cold seeping into his very core, making his muscles stiff and unresponsive. His heart pounded in his chest, fear a cold fist squeezing tight. The darkness around him was suffocating, amplifying his sense of isolation and dread. He was alone, surrounded by the crushing pressure of the ocean. The weight of the water pressed down on him, a constant reminder of the peril he was in. Time blurred. Minutes felt like hours, hours like days. The endless waiting was a torment, each second stretching into an eternity. The air grew thick, heavy with each breath. He could feel the oxygen depleting, the air becoming stale and suffocating. Hunger gnawed at his stomach, but thirst was his worst enemy. His lips were parched, his throat dry, and the salt water around him was undrinkable. Okene knew he had to get out. He couldn't survive much longer in this underwater tomb. He needed to find a way to escape, to reach the surface and breathe fresh air again. But how? He was trapped, buried alive in a watery grave. The walls of the wreckage seemed to close in on him, and the way out was nowhere in sight. Then, he heard it. A faint tapping sound, echoing through the metal hull. Was it real, or just a figment of his oxygen-starved mind? Hope, a flickering candle in the darkness, ignited within him. He banged back, his knuckles raw against the steel. The tapping stopped, then resumed, stronger this time. Someone was out there. Section 4, an unbelievable discovery. A team of South African divers had arrived at the wreck. They were seasoned professionals, accustomed to the grim task of recovering bodies from sunken vessels. This mission, however, would be unlike any other they had undertaken. They expected to recover bodies, not survivors. The mood was somber as they prepared their equipment, each diver mentally bracing for the grim task ahead. Moving through the murky water, they searched the sunken vessel. The visibility was poor, and the eerie silence of the deep only added to the tension. That's when they heard it. A sound that was out of place in the underwater graveyard. A rhythmic tapping, faint but unmistakable. It was a signal, a desperate plea for help from within the wreck. Following the sound, they reached a small, air-filled pocket. The divers' hearts raced as they realized what this could mean. One of the divers, incredulous, shone his light inside. The beam cut through the darkness, revealing a sight that none of them had expected. A pair of eyes, wide with fear and hope, stared back. The man had been trapped for days, clinging to life in the small air pocket. It was a man, alive. His survival was nothing short of a miracle, defying all odds. The divers couldn't believe their eyes. It was a miracle. They had found a survivor in the most unlikely of places, turning a routine recovery mission into an extraordinary rescue. Section 5. Against all odds. Getting Okene out was dangerous. The rescue team faced numerous challenges, from the treacherous underwater conditions to the limited time they had to save him. He had been trapped for almost 3 days. In the pitch-black darkness, with only a small air pocket keeping him alive, Okene clung to hope. They knew they had to bring him up slowly, carefully, to avoid the deadly bends. The divers meticulously planned each step, knowing that one wrong move could be fatal. Using a special diving bell, they brought him to the surface. This equipment was crucial in ensuring his safe ascent, protecting him from the rapid pressure changes. Okene emerged into the sunlight, a man reborn. The relief and joy on his face were palpable as he took his first breath of fresh air in days. Doctors were amazed by his survival. They couldn't believe how he had managed to stay alive in such harsh conditions, defying all odds. His time in the air pocket, the cold water, and the sheer will to live had kept him going. It was a remarkable feat of endurance and mental strength. The lack of food and fresh water, it was a dire situation. Yet Okene's determination never wavered. It was a testament to the human will to survive. His story is one of incredible resilience and the power of hope. Okene's story is a reminder that even in the darkest depths, hope can endure. It shows that the human spirit can shine brightly even in the most challenging circumstances. It is a story of courage, resilience, and the incredible strength of the human spirit. Against all odds, Okene's survival is a beacon of hope and a testament to the unyielding will to live.